Hi, welcome back to English 111 Online. This week we're going to introduce Core Project 3, which is a data analysis essay. We try to cover all kinds of writing in English 111 since it is a freshman composition course, so that you'll have some experience writing different kinds of things for different kinds of courses that you might have in your future college career or even in your professional career outside of college. So we've done the rhetorical analysis essay, we've done the real world writing, which was the ended up being a business letter, and now we're back to essay, but this time we're going to be looking at writing something that is mainly data, numbers, charts, that sort of thing, and translating it into text. So that is the gist of the assignment this week and next week. So there's a document under the resources for this week on Core Project 3, and you want to click on that and take a look at that. Let's look at it together. I've already opened it. Okay, so here is the assignment snapshot. It is data analysis essay, so we're back in essay format with an introduction, body paragraphs, and a conclusion. This will be in standard MLA format, 12-point font, the Times New Roman, double line spacing, a works cited page on a separate page, just like we did when we did the first essay. There's only one source required for this essay, and that is the Global Gender Gap Report 2018. When you, this is a live link here, when you click on that, and I've already opened that up too, you will see this report. Now this report is very lengthy, and it says 1 out of 367 pages, and of course you're not going to have to read 367 pages. But all of your information that you will get will come from this actual report. The way the report is set up, it has key findings of the report. It has how they're looking at measuring the gender global report. And so let me scroll up this way because my little thing over there is hidden. Measuring the global gender gap. And part 2 are country profiles. What you're going to have to do for this essay is pick a country other than the United States. You can't pick the United States because I'm going to use that as my example for you. But pick another country. It does not matter which one as long as it's on the report. All of the countries are listed in part 2 on 2 pages each per country, and they're listed in alphabetical order. So you'll be able to find a country, and as I said, it doesn't matter. Just pick one of them so you can do the writing translation of the data. All right, so it'll be MLA 8th edition, just like we said, and this time we have 3+ pages. Last time we had 2+ pages, and the 2+ pages, most of you were able to meet that with no problem. This time we're probably going to have instead of 3 body paragraphs, we're going to have at least 4 body paragraphs, an introduction and a conclusion, and that's why it says 3+ pages, because you got an extra page of text added here. Okay, so here's the objective. Analyze the data about a country of your choice, other than the United States, based on information from the Global Gender Gap Report 2018 to show how the particular country ranks as far as its gender gap and to determine the significance of the data. Now, the gender gap, we got introduced to that when we took a look at the introduction to Lean In at the very beginning of the course. And so the gender gap is, since this is set up in binary gender, it's set up male and female, and the gender gap is how far apart they are of being in equality or parity, as they call it. So if it's close together like this, it is it's your equal, and the gap shows how far apart it is. Like it could be pay, the ability to get health care, and that's sort of thing. And so you'll be able to look at whichever country you pick and see how they rate as far as being ranked overall and for different information. The information is organized as to 4 major categories: economic participation and opportunity, educational attainment, health and survival, and political empowerment. So each one of those, you're going to be writing a body paragraph about that data. These are further broken down into subcategories that you can find out even more information from, and that's where you're going to get the bulk of the information. For this week, I am only asking you to create body paragraphs. We're not going to worry about the introduction, the conclusion yet. I just want you to get a document, get it in MLA format, double line spacing, put your header, insert your page number to create your heading for each page, and put your works cited on a separate page. But what we're going to do first is just translate data to sentences. So make some notes as you read and analyze the data. This is going to come from your critical thinking ability to read numbers, to read charts, and to be able to have something to say about what you see in the numbers. Consider this. What does all this data mean? How does 2018's ranking compare to 2006? Now, this gender gap report was established in 2006. And so they've had 12 years of reporting to see. You can look at your country's 2018 ranking, and you can look at 2006 ranking and see, are they improving? Is the gender gap getting closer together, closer to parity? Or are they getting further apart and it's becoming more disparate? So what maybe you might want to think of some things. What could they do to improve on getting closer to parity? Any ideas that you might have that would make them more successful? Your own analysis is essential to the content of this essay. So yes, you're going to be doing some reporting, numbers to text, but you're also going to be saying something about what all of this means. For example, because I know you may have no idea what I'm talking about when I'm explaining it to you, but for example, I did this last semester, so it mentions the 2017 report. We'll be using the 2018 report. And here are my notes on the United States. The United States ranked 49 out of 144 countries. Here's the data that I saw this on one of the pages under that they had in the report for the United States. They have the same thing for at the top of the page for Japan or Turkey or whichever country you might choose to use here. And so that's the first thing I noticed. Rank 49 out of 144 countries, then it's pretty much right smack in the middle. Let's take a look. The global gender gap score by those categories. Now, I only did it for 4 of the categories. I did it for all 4 of the categories here, so you can see. Here's the rank overall in 2006, and here's the rank in 2017. Well, I don't know why it went down from 23 to 49, but there were fewer countries in the ranking to be ranked in 2006 compared to 2017. So, but I look down and I think, educational attainment, we were 66 in 2006, but look now. Our rank is first. That means that we are at parity. We are equal as far as educational attainment. So men and women equally are getting educated. However, look, health and survival in 2006, we're at 1.98, but we've come down to 82nd in at 0.973. And is that a tremendous drop? No. And one of the things could be that other countries came up sufficiently that it lowered our ranking. But see, this is what you're going to figure out when you look at it. You're going to try to figure out what's going on here. What does it mean? All right. So then I went on and looked at in Figure 3, looking at just the economic participation and opportunity. And you can look at that. This little chart that they give you over here on the side shows the distance from parity, so you can visually see it, and then you can also see where we're ahead of the game. So we're doing really well in professional and technical workers. In fact, women are exceeding men in that category, but everything else, not as much. Over here, you can actually look at it and see the visual of the places where we're at parity or beyond parity, and the places that where we're still moving up or down. All right, so the 5 categories divided by male and female are labor force participation, wage equality for similar work, estimated earned income, legislatures, senior officials and managers, professional and technical workers. So each of the 4 categories have subcategories like that. And I want you to look at all the data and come up with some good statements that you can make about what you are seeing as far as the data is concerned. All right, so you can read through the rest of my notes that I made on the United States last semester using the 2017 report. Okay, but beyond that, I also wrote some paragraphs showing you what I want you to do for your graded assignment this week. This is what I want you to do. I want you to have a topic sentence for each of the 4 categories. I want you to reference the report. I used 2017, you're using 2018, so according to the 2018 Global Gender Gap Report. And once you spell this out, you can refer to it thereafter. Do this right now and put it in here in parentheses. If you spell it out and then you put GGGR like that, then you can use GGGR and you do not have to spell it out every time. But according to the 2017 Global Gender Gap Report, women in the United States are now as highly educated as men, and the United States is now the world's leader in education for women, compared to 66 worldwide in 2006. See, that's my topic sentence that is also a comparison and contrast sentence. But that starts, everything else in this paragraph will then be about educational attainment, because that is one of the 4 categories. And you'll go on, use a transition when you get to the next category. Also, according to the 2017 GGGR, women's health care and mortality in the United States is on an even par with men, yet, despite having nearly the same score as in 2006, the country has dropped from the most advanced country in the world for medical care for women to 66, meaning that other countries have made greater strides in women's health. You see that? That doesn't necessarily mean that we took women's health care away. It could mean that other countries have come up, and which naturally is going to push us down in the rankings. So this is what I want you to do. Those, I want 4 paragraphs. I only did 3 paragraphs. I didn't cover political empowerment, but that's what I want you to do. Also notice that in within the paragraphs, I put the page number for where that information came from. The page numbers are going to be just one of two because there are 2 pages for each country. So you'll just have to note which page you got it from. And then, so that is this week's part of it. And you go ahead and read the rest of it, what it's going to be. But that is what you have to do so far. You're just going to be translating the graphic information into expository paragraph form with full sentences. You can model the sentences that I did above, but you'll be writing about a different country, so your conclusions will be different from mine. Make sure you create a Google Doc, make sure you're in correct MLA format, and then when you get through with this, go back to let me go back to the page, and you're going to turn that in on a Turnitin link. Here's the Turnitin link right here. Translation of graphics to expository text, it says. You want to have your assignment turned in there, your Google Doc, before midnight next Sunday, March 17th, and that is your assignment for this week. Next week, we're going to come back and we're going to take a look at adding an introduction and a conclusion to it, and we're going to try to see, I'm going to try to see from what you submit this week, if you've got enough data there that you're going to make your 3+ pages, or if you're on the right track as far as your data is concerned, so that all you really need to worry about is your introduction and conclusion. This will also need a title, but you don't have to worry about the title, the introduction, or the conclusion this week, just the 4 body paragraphs with as much analysis as you can put in for it. All right, so I'm going to take a look at that. I'll give you some feedback on that, and then your job after that will be to go ahead and work on the full rough draft, but that won't be due until the following Sunday, the 24th. So for this Sunday, body paragraphs. Contact me if you have any questions, if you need any help, and I'll be glad to help you, see if you're on the right track, but I'll also give you feedback on what you submit for the Turnitin assignment this week. And the Turnitin assignment this week will count as a course grade. Okay, well, contact me if you need any help. I'll be glad to help you, and I'll talk to you next time.